Hey guys, Alex with Green Tree Media here. Today I want to share with you my newest plugin for the Divi and Extra themes called Easy Coming Soon pages. And yes, it allows you to create your own custom coming soon or placeholder pages, whatever. And I know there's a million other plugins out there that allow you to do the same thing, but this one is different in a couple key ways that none of the other ones do. The first is instead of whitelisting IP addresses, you can actually create your own URL slug and create your own link that you give to your clients or your family, friends, whatever, whoever you want to view your website normally. You can give them that URL, and anybody who accesses the site through that URL just browses the website normally, like the website's up and fine and everything's trucking along. Everybody else will see your placeholder page. If you still want to whitelist IP addresses, you can definitely do that. The plugin will support that. But I've just worked on so many projects where I'm waiting for the client to get back to me with their IP address. Some of them are confused by the term IP address. It just turns into a whole extra step, and I wanted to eliminate that. So as I try to do with a lot of my plugins, I try to streamline the process and make your life as easy as possible, and my life as easy as possible as well, so we can get more done and be more productive. The other big difference with this plugin that I have not seen in any other coming soon pages is that they don't properly return the right HTTP headers to Google and other search engines when their coming soon or under construction page is up. They just return the normal status, 200, which Google will try to index your coming soon page or your placeholder page, and that's going to affect your SEO when that page goes away later, or Google's going to try to understand what your site is about based off of your placeholder page. This plugin is different. It returns a 503 status, which tells the search engines, hey, the website's it's actively being worked on right now. Check back later. And that way the search engines aren't going to try to index your coming soon page or try to understand what your site's about from that placeholder page. So this kind of has your SEO best interest in mind as well. So real quick, I'll just kind of go through the features, which I've really pretty much already covered. The big things that it does, access via a custom URL. You can still whitelist IP addresses, and it returns the proper headings to keep your SEO intact. You build out a page on your website using the Divi builder, however you want it to look, and then when you enable it, you can direct the traffic to that page. Everybody that tries to visit a page on your website, like if I were to just type in some random URL, hamburgers, because I'm kind of hungry, you'll see that it redirects right to the coming soon. Or if I do, about us, or literally anything that they try to access, it's always going to put them right back onto this placeholder page. And if I scroll down here, we can talk about the custom URL, because this is kind of the big thing behind it. I've set the custom URL on this site to be divicomingsoon.com/client login portal. And if I click this link, it'll take me right to that. But just to even kind of illustrate my point further, I'm actually just going to paste it right in here. And what's going to happen is it's going to take me to the actual home page that I've set up for this website now, where we've bypassed that placeholder page. And I can now just browse the website normally. So here's another page that I created. I titled it Another Page creatively. Contact. So anybody that visits the site through that custom URL, they're able to browse and use the website like it's up and there's no placeholder page or anything. And the way that it works, if I check my cookies, you'll see that I do have one cookie now from Divi coming soon. And the cookie is what allows us to view the website and bypass the placeholder page. And you'll see that it expires here in 7 days. You can actually choose in the plugin, you can choose when that expires, whether you want it to be 1 day, 7 days, 30 days, completely up to you. Once that cookie expires, they won't be able to view the website. They'll still hit that placeholder page, but of course they can just follow the original link again and they'll get another cookie. So you don't have to worry about that at all. And if I remove this cookie and refresh the page, you'll see that we're going to end up right back on our placeholder page. And let me throw up the and refresh this page here from the inspector, and we'll see that we are in fact returning a 503 status, temporarily unavailable. So we are returning the right request to tell Google, hey, the site's unavailable at the minute. Don't worry, but check back because we're working on it. So let's jump over to the admin side. Let's see what it looks like in the settings page. The first thing is our VIP URL. I've set it to client login portal as I demonstrated earlier, but you could literally set this to anything that you want. You can generate a random slug if you'd rather do that. The only thing is it just shouldn't be a URL that actually exists on your website. So if you have a page called About Us and the slug is about-us, you don't want to use that for your VIP URL. So just make sure it's something unique, something random, something you're not using, which is why I have this generate random slug. And then to make things easy for you to share it, I've put a button here to copy the full URL. And if I open up another tab here, you'll see that it just pastes it right in there. So just to make things easier. VIP cookie expiration, by default it's 7 days, but max is 30. You can set it to whatever you would like, totally up to you. Here's the box if you prefer to whitelist IP addresses. Again, I don't want to go through that hassle and ask people for their IP addresses and things like that. So if you prefer to do that and you want to do that, you totally can. We just need a comma separated list here of all the IP addresses. Here's where you can set your placeholder page. Any of the pages on your website, they'll show up here and you can choose. And then you've got two other options here, which I think are kind of cool. Hide site header and hide site footer. So if you wanted to, when you created the page, you could just set the template to blank and it would hide both of these. But sometimes you want to design, you've created a coming soon page, but you still want your footer credits intact as the designer. So you could hide the header, but leave the footer, and that way you would still get that designed by, whatever in the actual footer of the website. But it's up to you. You can do whatever. You can, enable these, hide them both, just hide one. You can totally ignore this and set the page template to blank when you're working on the page. That's up to you. And then, of course, the last option, enable the placeholder page. And once you turn it on, all the traffic that isn't whitelisted, or if they're not logged in as an administrator, or if they're not coming through the custom URL, then they're going to hit the placeholder page. So that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a really straightforward plugin, but that's what I needed to create for my own projects, and hopefully you guys get some value out of it as well. Just a really straightforward coming soon page and an easy way to give clients, friends, family, whoever access to view it. So hopefully you guys find some value in it. Let me know. And if you get stuck, definitely let me know as well. I want to make my plugins the best that they can be. So my support link is in the product description, and I am almost always available to help however I can. So, all right, cool. Thanks, guys.